Hey, this is ThinkerThunker. I have been at this now with this channel for over 14 years. You can see right here, I have 220 videos. So, of course, I've made mistakes. I'm only human. You make mistakes too. Here are the 5 mistakes that I wish I could take back. Let's check it out. Number 5, the infamous trail cam Bigfoot image sent in by one of my Team ThinkerThunker Facebook members. Thanks again, NGS. So here's what I did in that video. This is an image of actor Harrison Ford. I just simply drew some outlines around Mr. Ford's eyes. Then I dropped in the mysterious trail cam figure there and lined its eyes up as best I could. And then I simply pointed out the obvious fact that if this thing's eyes are lined up perfectly with Mr. Ford's, why is its nose so incredibly short? Next in the video, I backed all that up by literally measuring Mr. Ford's face and other celebrities using my proportional DNA face measurement system. And I proved that whatever this thing is, it has a face that is entirely, profoundly different from normal human face proportions, which we can see. Mr. Ford, Rihanna, Carl Weathers, all their faces, male and female, different ethnicities, all their face proportion matched up perfectly, but the weird trail cam critter, its face did not match. It had profoundly different face proportions. But then I did find a match for this face, which is strangely this face right here that comes from an entirely different video I covered years ago. Then I did a second video when some more information came in. It's called Update Trail Cam Bigfoot Full Head, Full Story, because now we have this thing's full face, which I measured right there. And I found that this thing, now measuring the distance between its eyes and its nose from top to bottom, and the distance from the bottom of its nose to the center of its mouth, match up perfectly with this thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna let you hear this gigantic blunder that I made. Listen carefully, here we go. So either these two are the exact same species, or there is a master mask maker out there somewhere that made both of them, like say 30 years apart, 40 years apart, hundreds of miles apart, or there are others, but they all make masks that adhere to the exacting specifications. Okay, I'm pressing stop. Did you hear me say that this was a Bigfoot? No, you did not. I didn't say that in either video. Again, I've never said that in 14 years. My only point in these two videos is that whatever these two big white furry faces are, whether they're made by some master mask maker or they're some unknown species, they have face proportions that are profoundly different from any normal, typical adult human face proportion. That's it. And so for the people who claim, boy, ThinkerThunker really messed this one up, he needs to admit he's wrong. I wasn't wrong. These things have non-human face proportions. End of story. I welcome you, instead of just telling everybody ThinkerThunker's wrong with zero proof. Prove that I was wrong. Show where these things have human face proportions. You won't be able to. So here's what we've got. We've got a bunch of people out there that they were either too lazy to watch my 2 videos to have a clue what they were talking about, and just assume that just because ThinkerThunker covers a video, that's him saying that it's a real Bigfoot, that's a lie. I've made a bunch of videos proving hoaxes. Or these people watched both of my videos and they're just not smart enough to understand these simple measurements and simple comparisons that I do. Or 3, they're just plain lying, spreading hate and misinformation, trying to tear my channel down and build theirs up. So any way you look at it, too lazy, too dumb, or lying, that's their mistake, not mine. So now we can take my number 5 big blunder video. We can just mark that one right off because there was no mistake made on my part. All right, my number 4, number 3, and number 2 blunders of all time. All three fall into the same category, which stems from the fact that all Bigfoot footage is bad in just varying degrees. And it's most always filmed from a good distance away. But what I failed to do on all three of these clips is that sometimes I just have to admit that footage is unusable, especially when I have to zoom in like 700%, like I did on all three of these, just trying to get a glimpse of what's actually going on in that clip. But see, there's a catch-22 here, which is if I don't try to rehab all really bad Bigfoot footage, then I'm done. Time to pack up my spurs. Because the second catch-22 here is that real Bigfoot footage is incredibly rare. So bad Bigfoot footage is all any of us get, and we're lucky to get that because the best clip we've ever seen was filmed 57 years ago, and even it wasn't all that clear. So bottom line, when I hit 1 million subscribers in another 50 or 100 years or so, maybe then I can afford to hire a couple of people that can help me scour the entire internet, making sure that I have the highest resolution possible on each clip and know the truth behind it, all the facts, who filmed it, when, where, all of that, which ironically only happened in 14 years on just these 3 clips. So until then, here in the real world, where unfortunately I'm not rich and I have other work that I have to do to earn a living, I have to use the links that people send me, in the hopes that a higher resolution version and the truth behind that clip will eventually turn up. This is for a fact my number 1 biggest blunder. I did this one when I was first starting out all this. It was a rookie mistake. I saw this footage here. I thought the body mechanics were right. It's missing the torso lean. But when I saw this, where is it? Right here. This guy looks massive, jumps a limb, jumps off a high drop. I thought, there's no way anybody is crazy or dumb enough to do that in a big bulky monkey suit. I was wrong. But while this footage was incredibly compelling and really interesting, bottom line, I had zero proof of anything. All I had was opinion, and that's just not enough. The good news is that about a decade after I made this rookie blunder, I developed a simple scientific species measurement system that allowed me to prove in about 15 minutes that this is in fact a dude in a monkey suit. Here you see I've measured its proportions. Here are those proportions over to the right. And here I've compared them to human proportions. And while the great sequoia mystery creature here has arms that are a little bit longer than the average normal typical adult human, they could have easily here just worn some great big mitts with this costume, or just had the arms a little long, and that would have taken care of that. So here we can see simple, scientific, measurable proof with our own eyes that the big red hoax over here has body proportions that are all but identical to all of mankind, apart from its fake long hands there. And it doesn't resemble the Patterson Bigfoot at all. I mean, if only I could have developed this 12 years ago, but at least we have simple scientific proof now. Now, for the skeptics and haters who think every word I say, everything I do is wrong, and that all Bigfoot footage is a hoax, those people believe that every thought they have, every belief they have is all the proof they need. And that is delusional. That is the kind of thinking where it's all opinion and no proof that led me to my number 1 blunder here. All right, everybody, there are my 4 big blunders that I wish I could take back. Not a bad record four blunders in 14 years, especially when 3 of them were occupational hazards, having to work with the worst footage imaginable. Special thanks to everybody who supports me and subscribes to me, but especially to my patrons and my YouTube members, because without your monthly support, I mean, that's really started to matter over the past 3 or 4 years. Your monthly support helps me justify all of the time I have spent working on all this for 14 years now. A lot of those years, my wife and I sacrificed my salary because we believed in what I was doing here. So again, thank you. We both appreciate your support. All right, everybody, take care.